name is Blair Glenn, and I'm the owner of Saratoga Tree Service. I've owned a Bobcat in my business for over 20 years, but about 10 years ago, a good friend of mine, John Waddington, came up with this new design for a bucket, which he developed. It's called the Demo-Dozer bucket, and happy to say I think I got the first one that he designed. This is a truly remarkable bucket, and I'm able to do a lot of things. As you see here, I'm tearing out an oleander bush, and it would be real easy just to go up and over it and grab it and just rip it and tear it off the ground, but I'm trying to very carefully pull the roots out. So I've got a good hold of this whole bush, kind of like pulling out a big weed. You don't want to just go up and grab it. You got to kind of move it around a little bit, get those roots loose. And I'm very carefully working this. And at one point I have to kind of release it here and get underneath it and just give a little bit of a dig at the same time. But within about a minute, this big oleander bush comes out of the ground complete, roots and everything in one fell swoop. There you go. Gone. It's out of there. Now here you see where I'm straightening up the area. The roots are gone. One of the very unique aspects is the ability to doze. Not only can you pick up dirt and drag dirt backwards, but you can close the bucket, and because it's a flat plate on the front, you can push dirt around. And that becomes very, very helpful in a job. At the very tips of the bucket, there are what John refers to as the wings, which are open from the outside, and it enables you to come up around things and grab hold of them and pull them out of the ground. It works for fence posts, and in this case a small tree or shrubs. But a lot of times that little bit of a wing makes all the difference in the world in what you're able to do on a job. I've adapted a couple of receivers to the front of my bucket, and I believe that the newest buckets that he's producing are going to have that part of it. And it allows me to build tools. Here you see the pick, which is an amazing tool, and right here I'm using a rake. I built these myself, and they're kind of crude, but very, very effective. With this rake, basically it works like a rototiller, but I can pull out, weeds and ivy, and you can see how close I can get up to a fence or a structure. And I find this tool just really, really valuable. And I'm just kind of mixing in some of the organic material that's here. I'm bringing in some chips and kind of enhancing this planting area. But it's an amazing ability to put these tiny tools. It's kind of like taking your Bobcat and treating it like a big, really strong robot and putting these tough tools in its hands, and you're controlling that robot just with a rake. You can see how deep I'm able to go here. When I level it out, this area is going to be pretty much ready for planting. I have some other tools that I've adapted. I've got a big shovel that I built, and I've got a hoe that works for kind of leveling tight areas. I've got another tool that helps me get up underneath concrete. It's got a bit of a fulcrum on it, so I just push in and pop back, and up pops the concrete. It works good for roots as well. But here you see how close to the fence I can get. And I kind of push and pull and kind of work it around. Honestly, I wasn't working on this area for more than about 10 or 15 minutes, and it was done. Now, there were a lot of different aspects to this particular job, and one of them was to regrade and put down base rock for the road. The Demo-Dozer bucket has one unique aspect, that it holds a lot of material, and because it's got a plate all the way across the front, you're able to distribute this material very evenly and very controlled. Now, I don't want to just put big piles of base rock there. I just want to kind of spread it out, and you can see I can open it up just a little bit out at a time. Now when I go back in and back drag it, I'm just building this area up in layers. and I can doze where I need to. You know, that's huge. So I'm speeding up the job. A little back dragging, and there we go. There you see how carefully I'm able to just kind of distribute a little bit of material wherever I want it. I had to get right up to the edge of these pavers. So I just put a little bit here, a little bit there, and kind of worked it in very carefully. I didn't want to damage the edge of the pavers, but I wanted it to be a level surface that the pavers went onto without much of a drop off. So I'm barely opening it at all. In this case, I'm not even opening. I'm just kind of shaking it out. But as soon as you open it, it comes out in a very, very controlled rate. There you go. See, I open it up, and much like a big dump truck would open its gates with a chain on it, you can distribute just a little bit of material. And you push a little bit in where you need to, and back drag, and in no time at all, I had this area done. I made a lot of money on this job, and I made it quick. But without the Demo-Dozer bucket, it would have taken me probably 3 times as long to do it.